The Orioles homestand continues tonight with the opener of a 4-game series against the Texas Rangers. And the Rangers are looking to get back on the winning track after being swept by the Rays in Tampa. And they are seeking payback. Last time these teams got together, the Orioles swept a 4-game series from the AL West leaders in Arlington. Buck Showalter takes on his former team, Game 1 of the 4-game series. O's and Rangers up next on Massa. It's Orioles baseball on Massa on a warm Friday night at Camden Yards. The Birds welcome in the Texas Rangers in the opening game of this 4-game weekend series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. The Rangers come to town having lost 3 straight in Tampa. Orioles are trying to break a 2-game losing streak. And Texas is looking forward to the postseason, possibly. They have an 8-game lead in the AL West, but one thing they need to do over the remaining games heading into postseason play is improve their play within the AL East, because it's very likely, if they go postseason bound, the AL East looms in their future. Look at the Rangers' record, 12-21 against the AL East. They have gone 55-31 against everybody else. AL Central, a winning record. They have dominated their own division in the AL West, and they went 14-4 against the National League and Interleague play. And to compound their disappointment within the AL East, 4 of the 5 teams have swept series from the Rangers. The only team not to have done so far, the Boston Red Sox. So, Mike, when you look at their playoff past, 3 playoff appearances, each time they lost to the New York Yankees, AL East opponent, they got to turn it around while they have time.
Yeah, it's really been amazing. They beat up on the National League. They beat up on their own division, but they've struggled in the American League East. And some people will tell you there's 3 divisions in baseball: the American League, the National League, and the AL East. And just think back when the Orioles went into to Arlington to play the Rangers and swept that series. They beat an all-star starter, they beat up on their closer, and they managed to control an all-star lineup. So this club is out not only to prove to itself that it can play with the big boys, but the rest of the league.
Of course, it's all about pitching, and the Rangers have a better pitching staff ERA-wise than any of their playoff team. But look at the Orioles pitching. It has certainly come on since Buck Showalter. Back-to-back games, 8 innings plus, and they have got at least 6 innings in 14 of the 16 games.
Yeah, when you're getting that kind of consistency and throwing out, quality start after quality start, you're going to be in all of these games right to the end.
And tonight we'll be covering the bases here on Massa. Michael Gonzalez is our feature tonight. It's the O's and Rangers coming up.
It must have had to been when I got dressed. They dressed me as a banana the first time my rookie year, and you're not used to anything like that. But you had to go out there. They put us out in the street on Michigan Street in Chicago, and we kind of had to walk that walk of shame. But it was more fun than embarrassing to me. I mean, it's actually meant that, hey, you're in the big leagues.
Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. And by Honda. Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer. Oriole Park at Camden Yards on this sunny late afternoon, early evening on this Thursday night. Real nice night for baseball. Get a look at our train game time temperature. Visit trainsearch.com to locate an independent train dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. 83 degrees, maybe not quite as humid as it was yesterday. Nice day for baseball. Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Texas Rangers. Elvis Andrus, Michael Young, and Josh Hamilton. Vladimir Guerrero bats cleanup. He'll DH. Big-time numbers here at Camden Yards. Benji Molina and David Murphy with Jorge Cantu at first, Brandon Boggs in right, and Andres Blanco at second base.
PNC scouting report on Brian Mattis and what he needs to do to achieve success tonight, and that would be to stay cool, stay out of the big inning. 1/3 of his starts, he's had a massive inning somewhere in the first part of the ball game, and to fly solo. Only 5 of his 15 home runs are solos, so 10 are multiple run homers. Needs to stay away from that in the century mark. Has not thrown 100 pitches in any one of his last 7 starts, and he'll run deep into the ball game.
And there are the numbers overall. 4-12 is the one-loss record, and the first pitch is taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Andrus, the young shortstop, has an 8-game hitting streak, and the batting average at .276. And he fouls it off the other way, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Andrus.
And this club, right near the top in a lot of the offensive categories, but has certainly been struggling of late. Of course, they lost to 3 games against Tampa Bay. They only had 10 hits just once in their last 5 games, so they've been struggling offensively.
Yeah, the 0-2, he got him. Looked off speed, Mike, and on 3 pitches, Elvis Andrus down on strikes, 1 away in the first inning.
Well, I made it look easy. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's like a cutter that sort of backs up, so not exactly probably where the pitch was intended to go, but it worked out certainly in Brian's favor.
And Exmo brought to you by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. And here is the always dangerous Michael Young. And he takes a strike.
He missed the last couple of games with a stiff neck, so a few more injuries to the Rangers this time around. Fine right fielder Nelson Cruz, he's out of the lineup.
Curveball that breaks on the outside corner for a strike. So how about this? 5 pitches, 5 strikes. There is Ron Washington, who is now in his 4th season as manager after replacing Buck Showalter as the Rangers manager. Buck managed the Texas club through 2006, and then Ron Washington took over in 2007. And Buck Showalter said before the game today that he feels that Ron Washington was the right man for that job at the time and remains so. Here's the 1-2 to Michael Young. Swung out and sliced down the right field line. And that is back out of play and a foul ball. Now, Brian Mattis, 1 win in his last 7 starts and only 2 wins in his last 21 starts. He won 2 of his first 3, and it's his 25th start today. And along the way, he has had a couple of real rough outings against the Texas Rangers, both those games at the ballpark in Arlington. Here's the 1-2 to Young, curveball, high fly to right. Markakis back on it, has a play, and on the warning track, he puts it away for the out. And 2 down in the Texas first inning. So good start so far for Brian Mattis.
Let's take a look at the Oriole defense tonight. Felix Piet will be in left. Adam Jones will man center field. Nick Markakis in his usual right. Wigington and Asturis on the left side. Roberts and Scott with Matt Wieters behind the plate. So third base and first base. A little bit different look tonight with Josh Bell out of the lineup.
Josh Hamilton now will bat. He is the league's leading batter. And Mattis gets ahead 0-1. Very little he can't do well.
Yeah, 11 for 24, a couple of home runs, 3 doubles versus the Orioles this year. You can see his career numbers, nothing short of outstanding. He was red hot when we saw him back in Arlington right before the All-Star break. Has cooled off some, had a very cool series against the Rays and Tampa Bay. Just 1 for 12. And again, this is kind of what's happened to this club. And even historically, when it gets really hot, it's real difficult to maintain that offensive pace that they had going on early on.
Mattis has thrown 11 pitches. He has thrown 9 strikes, and that was only the second ball as Josh Hamilton has worked the count to 1-2. 2 outs, none on, just underway at Camden Yards, and he got him. Swings through a breaking ball. What a start for Mattis. 3 up, 3 down, a couple of Ks. No score. Here come the Birds in the bottom of the first. Rangers go 3 up, 3 down in the first. Southwest Airlines starting lineups. Here come the Orioles in the bottom of the first. And as always, Brian Roberts will be in his leadoff spot. Career versus Texas, a .320 average, 6 home runs, and 35 RBIs. Nick Markakis, Ty Wigginton, and Luke Scott at first base tonight. Adam Jones in center field. Felix P.A., Matt Wieters, Corey Patterson will DH. And Cesar Estouras at shortstop bats ninth.
PNC scouting report on Colby Lewis and what he needs to do to achieve success tonight is probably try to beat the Beasts from the East. You saw their numbers at just 12 and 21 versus the East. He is 1-3 against teams from the East, and good enough. 5 straight losses, but in those losses, he's lost 3-2 twice, 3-1 twice, and 4-1. So he's been throwing very well, but not winning, and I'm okay. He has the lowest batting average with runners in scoring position in the American League, 1.63.
Well, he's a remarkable story now at the age of 31 in his 5th season, because he has survived and come back from right rotator cuff surgery. He had that in May of 2004, missed the rest of that year, and then all of 2005. And he gets ahead of Brian Roberts, 0-1.
He also spent a couple of seasons in Japan in 08 and 09. Globetrotting and making it all the way back.
Roberts swings and misses, and 0-2 quickly. Colby Lewis originally was drafted by the Rangers. That was back in 1999. He was a compensation pick between the first and second rounds, and then Texas lost him on a waiver claim to the Tigers. That was in 04, and that's when all these shoulder miseries began, as Roberts hits a high fly ball to right field. Moving in on it is Brandon Boggs, and towards the line, he has it for the out. 1 away in the Oriole first.
Let's take a look at the Ranger defense tonight. David Murphy will play left. Josh Hamilton in center. Boggs will play right in for the injured Nelson Cruz. Michael Young will be at third base. Elvis Andrus at shortstop. Blanco will play second. Jorge Cantu, a sort of a late summer acquisition. And Benji Molina will be behind the plate. Pitching Colby Lewis, 9-9 with a 3.2 ERA.
Buck Showalter for the first time managing against his former team. Still has a home in Dallas. And as he told the Oriole reporters before the game, he still roots for the Rangers except for these 4 games. 1-0 to Nick is taken high, ball 2. 2-0. Nick's bat has cooled off a bit. He has 4 hits, just 1 RBI in the homestand, but he is always 1 at-bat away from starting a surge. 134 base hits, that leads the team. And he takes a strike. The umpiring crew here tonight is the same crew that umpired in the 3-game series against Seattle. It's kind of unusual that a crew would hold over. There's Tim McClellan. He is the crew chief. And I would expect that tomorrow there will be a different crew here. 2-1 pitch is down and in, ball 3.
I guess booked in through Thursday, but you're right.
Yeah.
You probably have a new crew for the weekend.
Here's Andy Fletcher. He is at first base tonight. 1 out, none on, no score in the first. 3-1 on Markakis against Colby Lewis. One thing Lewis has done this year, and Mike told you about his tough luck as of late, he's gone 5 starts without a win, despite an ERA in those 5 starts of 2.76, but he minimizes base runners. As Markakis hits a high fly ball slicing towards left, Andrus is out, and he's called off by Murphy. Left fielder has it, 2 men down. Colby Lewis, Mike, is averaging 10.7 base runners per 9 innings. When you're down near 10 per game, you're going to have a really good chance to win.
Absolutely. That makes that whip, the walks and hits together. Anything around that 1 mark is nothing short of outstanding. And he's quietly having an outstanding year. Again, has not had any run support to speak of. But he's a strikeout pitcher. He struck out 10 in a game 4 times this year.
And Ty Wigginton takes a strike, 0-1. Ty playing at third base tonight. Trying to snap an 0 for 12 as he bats with 2 outs. And none on in the first. Lewis misses down and away, 1-1. Ty with just 1 RBI over the past 9 games, but he still leads the Orioles with 61. Luke Scott, who's on deck, is pulling close. He's now 6 behind. Hard hit ball, diving stop by Michael Young. He gets up and throws, and he got him. Michael Young takes a double away from Wigginton, and the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down. Michael Young robs Ty. Well, after the second, no score.
Michael Gonzalez. Mike told me growing up with 2 younger sisters definitely prepared him to have a daughter. He said his father was very adamant about him protecting his sisters in school, and so in high school he put the word out there, don't even try to date the Gonzalez girls, because not only do you have to go through their father, you have to come over and meet their brother as well. And when I asked him how old was an appropriate age for his daughter to start dating, he said 28. Jim?
All right.
Yeah. If not later, I'm sure.
There is his daughter, Ariana, a precious little baby girl. Daddy's little girl, forever. It never goes away.
No, it never changes.
No matter how old they become, how they might try to boss you around.
Wrap you around their fingers. And
they succeed at that very quickly. Meantime, Vladimir Guerrero up. And he swung at the first pitch and fouled it back. And Vlad, couple of home runs off Ryan Mattis this season. A 3-run shot and a 2-run shot.
Yeah, it really hurt Brian in the last time we were in Arlington in that 4-game series. A low screamer over the left field wall on about an ankle-high changeup.
Mattis is pitching very carefully to Guerrero. And this is the first batter he's fallen behind of the first 4 he's faced. 3-1 on Guerrero. Molina and Murphy will follow. Swings through it, 3-2. Talked about Kobe Lewis averaging 10.7 runners per game. Mattis is just under 14.
Pretty good.
You couldn't reach it.
Yeah, good spot. If he can reach it, he can usually hit it.
And the 3-2 to Guerrero's outside, ball 4, and there's a walk, and that's pretty hard to do. Guerrero rarely gets that deep into an at-bat, so he's on first base runner of the game. It is a leadoff walk to Vlad Guerrero. Well, the Orioles and Rangers continue this weekend series tomorrow night at 7:05, so gather up the family and friends. Enjoy a Friday night here at Oriole Park. For your tickets, call the Orioles, 888-848-BIRD, or if you prefer, just get online at Orioles.com. Still some of summer left, so come on out and join us. Orioles are home through Sunday, then have a day off Monday before heading to Chicago and Anaheim. Benji Molina now, and there's a strike. Oops, excuse me, it's high. I thought I had Tim McClellan figured out, and he just fooled me.
His timing, we talk about timing and coming to infielders and the rest, and Tim McClellan, one of those that just has a little hesitation. Sometimes more than a little hesitation, calling balls and strikes.
1-0 is fouled back, 1-1. Of course, Texas was very active in trying to solidify their club, and these are the trades that they made. Benji Molina, Cliff Lee, Jorge Cantu, and Christian Guzman. Molina's batting .219 since coming over. Cliff Lee 2-3, but most of that is not his fault. Jorge Cantu still has not homered. And Benji Molina was brought over. That's a tough thing to have an everyday catcher come over and learn the pitching staff halfway through a season. Curveball is high, and Wieters is going to go out and talk to Mattis, who, after a 3-up, 3-down inning, now has fallen behind back-to-back hitters.
Yeah, when we were back in Arlington, there was some problems, seemed like, with the young pitching staff of the Rangers.
And Benji Molina's a winner. He won as an Angel, and certainly understands how to call a game. Ron Washington certainly has a lot of confidence in him, which is why they went out and got him.
Oh, sure, they wanted to get some veteran leadership, and all the players that they've added. Jorge Cantu, he's been around, a veteran.
2-1 to Molina, hit towards the middle, and Asturias can't get it. That gets on through for a base hit. So here comes Texas now, 2 on and none down in the second inning. Game's first hit.
Well, this pitch, he's conscious effort you can see tonight from Brian Mattis to stay away from these Rangers hitters, really to minimize the damage. Most times you pitch away and you make a mistake, it's a single. Times you pitch in and make a mistake, you're really setting yourself up for the long ball.
There is not a lot of speed out there for Texas.
You're very kind. One of the slower twosomes, I'm sure, in all of baseball.
David Murphy, breaking ball, bends in there for a strike. They will not be doing the Texas two-step. With the injury to Nelson Cruz, Ron Washington has to play another left-handed hitting outfielder. It's either Mitch Moreland or David Murphy. And Murphy gets the start tonight because of his brief but very effective history against Brian Mattis.
Yeah, you wouldn't think a left-handed hitter would have these kind of numbers. 4 for 6 with a home run against Brian Mattis.
Nelson Cruz and Ian Kinsler, as Mike mentioned, both on the disabled list. Kinsler has a strained groin, and Cruz has a hamstring issue, and for Cruz, his third time disabled this year. Slice the other way. PA won't have a play, and it's going to bounce foul. 0-2 on David Murphy. Mattis has struck out 2 and walked 1.
I was just going to say, I thought PA would have a play on that. The way we saw him the last series against Seattle, playing over near that left field line, and took a couple of hits away, like a couple of foul balls, when I don't think I've ever seen before. A foul line out. You don't see that too often in the outfield.
Mattis just misses outside, 1-2. David Murphy, former first-round pick of the Red Sox, and he was traded to Texas trade deadline day in 2007. 1-2, swung on and missed. He got him. Looked like another off-speed pitch. Second time in this game, Mattis has a strikeout on a changeup.
His off-speed stuff seems to be a lot better quality tonight. Taking more off the changeup and more spin on the breaking ball, like he's backed off the effort in his delivery and allowing the ball to break more. Good changeup, good curveball so far early on.
As we peek in from left center field, you see Guerrero having a decent lead off second base. Here's Jorge Cantu, and Cantu takes a strike. Cantu was picked up from Florida on July the 29th. 4 for his last 18. He has 10 hits in 12 games with Texas. They really did a good job when you think about all that happened when we were in Arlington. And they got Cliff Lee, but they had to sacrifice their everyday first baseman, Justin Smoke. And then all of a sudden, they didn't have a first baseman that they were comfortable with. So they went out and got Jorge Cantu. The Orioles were there right before the All-Star break, so there were a couple of weeks left. This could be 2. There's Torres to Roberts 1, and back to first. There's 2. Mattis gets out of it, 2 on and none down, but the 6-4-3 ends the inning. Mid-third in Baltimore, no score. Tonight's second inning brought to you by Luna. Call today for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. And on display in this series, 2 of the top double hitters in the American League. Nick Markakis tied for first with 39, and Josh Hamilton tied for third with 37. Was Camden Yards an outstanding ballpark for the 2-base hit this lovely Thursday night. Really was a real nice day. Here's Luke Scott leading off for the Birds.
Yeah, Luke Scott 10 home runs since July 20th, third most in the majors. He's continuing on to swing a hot bat no matter what color uniform he's in.
Love those uniforms. Apparently I'm the only one.
You are the only one.
And I can't get anybody to agree with me that those are good-looking uniforms.
Just like Tigger. You're the only one.
Well, his top is made out of rubber and his bottom is made out of spring.
Yeah. Sad thing is I can continue that.
So can I, but then I'd have to sing. And, once a year's enough, I've been told. And I've already reached my quota. Scott gets ahead 2-0. Luke 4 for 11 on the homestand. Couple of RBIs. He had a base hit to drive in 2 in the first inning last night. And he's got a base hit here to begin the second inning. Rips it to center field. So Luke is on leading off in the second inning. First base runner for the Birds. And tonight's Maryland Lottery Hit It Here fan of the game is Trula Hine from Falston. If an Orioles player hits the Hit It Here sign located in the bullpen area, Trula Hine will win $100,000. To find out more about how you can become the fan of the game, visit mdlottery.com/hitithere. And there's the sign in the Texas bullpen. And Adam Jones will bat now with Luke Scott on at first. First time tonight, Colby Lewis will go to the stretch. So each pitcher had a 3-up, 3-down first, and each pitcher allowed the leadoff man to reach in the second. Boom, swings through it, 0-1. Adam is one base hit behind Nick Markakis for the team lead. Nick has 134, and Adam now has 133. He has, without a doubt, gone on a surge since Buck Showalter took over. And he got it by him again. Quickly, 0-2.
Again, Colby Lewis has pretty good stuff. Fastball, sweeping curveball, pretty good changeup to go with. Quickly ahead. Adam Jones' big month of August, 354.
Here's the 0-2 to Adam Jones, fouled back. Well, he certainly has been well traveled after being drafted by the Rangers in '99. I mentioned the Tigers claimed him on waivers in October of '04. He signed with the Nationals as a free agent in November of '06, and in '07 spring training he was released. Signed with Oakland, spent that entire year with Oakland. He was claimed on waivers by Kansas City November of '07 and released the next month. I mean, he didn't even put on a uniform. As Jones hits a slow ground ball to second, Blanco has it, flips to Andrus, back to first, and in time for a 4-6-3 double play and 2 men down. Close play at first, but what a turn at second by Blanco and Andrus.
Let's take one more look at it. Adam Jones just reaches and pokes it towards second base. Gordon over to 6-3. It's been one of the problems for the Rangers has been their infield defense. They have not turned a lot of double plays.
Looked like it could have gone either way at first, but Texas got the call, so Blanco and Andrus. Of course, Blanco's in there because Kinsler is not. Blanco's pretty much their utility up the middle infielder. 2 down for Felix Pie. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Elvis Andrus over near the line. Fair territory has it for the out. And the Orioles are done in the second. Colby Lewis and the Rangers, no score. Tonight his 25th start, looking for his 5th win. He's had a pretty good start so far tonight. He already has 3 strikeouts, all on swinging strike threes, and a double play got him out of a jam in the second inning and ended the inning. So he goes to work here in the third, facing 8, 9, and 1. Brandon Boggs, Andrus Blanco, and Elvis Andrus. And here's something that has plagued him all season long, that big inning.
Yeah, in 8 of his 24 starts, 1/3 of his starts, he's had a 4-run inning 5 times, a 5-run inning twice, and a 6-run inning once. I mean, that is really some incredible numbers, and happened to him when he was back in Texas pitching. Had a huge inning there, so he really is doing a good job so far of staying off the rope, staying out of trouble.
And in his last start, when he lost to Tampa Bay last Saturday, it was a 5-run 4th inning that did him in.
It just seemed that he needs to stay in the windup as much as possible.
Here's the 1-1 to Boggs. Swung out and missed. And it's 1-2. So Mattis, pretty good off-speed pitch early on.
It just seems to be a lot less.
Misses.
Yeah, I think there's a lot less effort in his delivery, and it looks a lot better to me. It's been able to take more speed off his changeup, let it be more effective, and more break to his breaking ball.
It's line foul. He was out in front. Buck Showalter, in his session with the media before the game, said yet again that he continues to talk to the young players and the young pitchers in particular about trying to calm down, ease up. Don't always feel like you have to extend that energy. Try easier. I've heard you say that so many times over the years. Here's the 1-2. He got him. So he came back and got him with a fastball. Strikeout number 4 and 1 away.
If you're throwing nice and easy and smooth, then when you go to add on a 1-2 pitch, you can reach back and get a little bit more. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Looks like it's about 95.
So Mattis has retired the leadoff man in 2 of the first 3 innings. Here's Andres Blanco. Blanco out of Venezuela. Texas picked him up just before opening day. He was with the Cubs in spring training. Breaking ball that just misses outside, 1-0. 26 years old, and he's been a pretty valuable guy. He seems to be that type of player, Mike, that can be effective knowing he's not going to play a lot, and right now he's needed because Kinsler's hurt.
Yeah, knowing his role. Kinsler seems to have a knack of getting on the disabled list. I think he's been on disabled list 6 times in the last 5 years. So we need a capable replacement.
1 out, none on, no score. All on a strike on Blanco. Shows bunt, and he takes a strike. Good pitch on the outer part of the plate, 1-2. Mattis averages 7 strikeouts per 9 innings while walking 3.5. So 2-1 strikeout to walk.
That's over 100 strikeouts on the year. Pretty good numbers for the rookie in that department. Going to spend the inconsistency from start to start.
There's the 1-2 breaking ball defensive swing, and Blanco fouled it off. Since Buck Showalter has taken over, 14 of the 16 games, the starter has got at least 2 innings. The 2 that have not, Burgess in 5 1/3, the first game of this homestand against Seattle, and Mattis last Saturday, the 4 innings at Tampa Bay. Ground ball towards short as Torres is there. Couple of steps, and he gets it across, and 2 men down. Time now for our Cabot Woodstains legendary performance. August 19, 2004 and 2007, John Smoltz breaks the Braves' all-time saves record. 2004, the all-time strikeout record in 2007. How about that? 2 major milestones on the same date, August 19th.
And you wouldn't think those 2 would even match up, but he had such a great career as a starter, and then out of the bullpen to have the record for strikeouts and for saves. Pretty special.
Elvis Andrus takes ball 1. Batting for a second time. Andrus struck out leading off the game. 1 of 4 Brian Mattis strikeouts. Breaking ball that bends in there for a strike.
And that's the big difference I see so far, is getting that curveball and changeup for strikes. This is one of those cases where it looks like you're pitching backwards, where you slow stuff early and your hard stuff late. It's a pretty good plan when you've struggled as mightily as Mattis has against this club. Coming in on the year against the Rangers, an ERA of 18.56. I think I would try something different too.
There's a 2-1 ground ball through the middle. And Andrus is on with 2 down. That was a 9-game hitting streak. A 2-out single in the Texas third.
Yeah, one of the few hitters on the Rangers lineup you could circle and say he's hot. And Michael Young, who was at the plate now, is probably another one. Nothing fancy, just right back up the middle.
Well, the good news for Mattis so far is the 2 base hits, both singles, were both ground balls that got on through. Both ground balls up the middle. Michael Young back in the lineup. He missed 2 games in Tampa with some stiffness on the right side of his neck. As usual, among the leaders in hits, he is tied for 6th with 139 base hits. He's got 42 multi-hit games. 5 200-hit seasons, and he did it in consecutive years.
Yeah, when we were in Arlington, they had a day for him for becoming the all-time hits franchise hit leader. They passed Ivan Rodriguez, who had 1,747 base hits wearing the Ranger uniform.
Good foul down the right side. The Orioles, since Buck Showalter took over, their team ERA is 3.54. That's very credible. Overall, the club remains last in team pitching at 4.95, but they're finally below 5. Here's Jason Birkin on the bench, who's on the disabled list. 1-2 on Young. Andrews at first, 2 down. Now it's back to breaking ball.
Interesting that shot of Jason Burke. When you go back when the Orioles swept the Rangers in Arlington, the 4 winning pitchers in that series was Jason Birkin, David Hernandez, Chris Tillman, and Jake Arrieta. And only Jake Arrieta really active at this point. So they had 2 wins out of the bullpen and 2 wins by starters, young starters, in that series.
Another 1-2 pitch. He got him. Another changeup. So that is the 5th strikeout and the 5th swinging strikeout. Brian Matusz sharp early on. No score in the 3rd.
The best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Nothing compares. You know, before it was just baseball, and I was just so focused in on this. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I come to the park, that's what it's about. You know, but as soon as I leave the park, it's gone. That's all there is to it. And I'll see baseball when I see it when I get there the next day. But just having a baby girl, it's something else. I mean, it melts your heart. You wake up and she's there in your face, and you know, you go to sleep, and that's what you're rushing to go see. And she doesn't care whether you had a good day, whether you had a bad day, whether you gave up a home run, or whether you got the save. You know, she wants daddy, and it's just, just wanting to be a part and being able to feel blessed that she's a healthy baby girl. And I'm just in love. I'm in love. I can't say any more than that.
Covering the bases tonight with Michael Gonzalez. Some nice words about his new daughter. And that certainly does change your life, as he is experiencing. Matt Wieters leads off. Patterson and Asturis to follow. 7, 8, and 9 against Colby Lewis. And there's a strike at the knees. Good pitch, 2-2. Each of the first 6 Orioles has put the ball in play. Birds have 1 hit, but Lewis erased that base runner on a double play.
Yeah, Lewis is supposed to be the strikeout pitcher.
And Wieters goes the other way, slicing towards the corner, and that is a foul ball, and just foul down the line, says Manny Gonzalez, third base umpire. Wieters was robbed of a hit last night. Good call. It was foul. This Wieters got the Orioles back in the game last night with a home run.
Yeah, it looks like he was going to tie the ball game up. The 9th home run of the season, the 10th home run, 9 home runs last year. Brought the Orioles back into it and robbed of a base hit late that probably would have tied it up.
And 2-2 the count as Kobe Lewis works to the Orioles leadoff hitter in the 3rd. And fisted foul the other way. Orioles have lost 2 in a row and 5 out of 7. So after starting 8-1 under Buck Showalter, they are now 10-6. And good eye by Wieters, taking low, ball 3. And in the first 9 games, 8-1, last 7, 2-5. Team ERA is about the same, just a little higher.
Yeah, it really is the runs per game you saw right there, just 3 runs.
And this one towards the gap in left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And David Murphy can't cut it off, so Wieters will chug into second base with a leadoff double. So Wieters continuing to go that way against Lewis. Almost sliced one down the line, a curve foul. This one stays fair into the gap.
It's what he can do so well. He really had 1 arms this one. Gets the bat head right to it, knows it's in the alley, and an easy stand-up double for Matt Wieters.
So Wieters picks up his 14th double, his 3rd hit on the homestand, and he's in scoring position for Corey Patterson, who is getting a start at DH tonight.
I don't think there's much of a surprise that he's in the lineup. I'm sure Buck Showalter wanting to get Corey in, and certainly Corey's history with this club this year has been phenomenal. In 6 games this year for Patterson, he's had 29 at-bats against the Rangers, has 9 hits, 5 doubles, a home run, 10 RBIs.
And Texas will throw left-handers tomorrow and Saturday, so unlikely he would play in those. 0-1 is fisted towards second base. Blanco, a diving catch. A broken bat slowed down that ball heading towards the outfield, and it hung up just long enough for Blanco. A diving grab for the out.
And what Andres Blanco knows, if this ball hits the ground, Corey Patterson's going to beat it out. So he needs to catch this ball in the air, or otherwise it's an infield base hit. So the Rangers flashing some leather early.
Both these teams are near the bottom in statistical team fielding. The Orioles are 13th and Texas 12th. That was a fine play by Andres Blanco. Cesar Torres now, curveball for a strike.
And the Orioles with 84 errors, the Rangers with 82. They go about a little bit differently. I think the Orioles double play combination, now that Brian Roberts is back, much better.
Towards center field, and that falls for a base hit. Josh Hamilton gets it back in. Wieters wasn't sure, and I think Hamilton may have just momentarily deked him into thinking that he might catch that ball, but the Orioles have runners on the corners with 1 down.
Just a nice slap single from Cesar Torres. Hamilton plays very shallow as it is, still unable to get it.
You saw that momentary pause there, which maybe Wieters felt was him positioning himself to catch the ball, but he still advances to third. No way he was going to score in that anyway.
And you check the outfielders before the pitch, and you see that Hamilton is in shallow. I think that's why he held up. Didn't realize how shallow he was.
Brian Roberts now flied out his first at bat, looking to extend the hitting streak to 4 in a row. Now the other way. Against Texas since 2006. Brian Roberts, the highest batting average against the Rangers, .378. Base hit here could give the Orioles the lead. Look at Nick Markakis on there as well, .333.
Yeah, it's usually if you can keep up with them offensively.
As Torres chased back, you can steal a base on Colby Lewis. There have been 10 successful steals in 13 tries against this right-hander. That's another reason why Benji Molina was brought in. He's an outstanding quick release and a strong arm behind the plate. Roberts takes too tight, 1-1. Lewis out of Bakersfield, California, 21-24 in his big league career.
We told you at the top that he had the runners in scoring position had a 163 average, which is best in the American League. It's even a little bit better with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. It's 091.
Look to third, look to first, and Asturias isn't going. Colby Lewis was the one starter in the Texas rotation that did not face the Orioles in that series in Texas. 4-game series. He had pitched just before the Orioles got there, and he missed them. Or they missed him. Roberts takes high, ball 2.
So they went out and traded for Cliff Lee while we were there and stuck him in the rotation.
Wieters at third, he doubled. Asturias at first, he singled, 1 down. They're playing Roberts to hit it the opposite way. And pitching him that way as well, but Lewis misses outside, ball 3. Not only is Josh Hamilton towards the left center gap, he is extremely shallow for Brian Roberts. Brian has pretty good power that way from the left side. Not home run power, but alley power.
Oh, yeah, drive the ball to the opposite field.
He'll get a good pitch here, 3-1 with 2 on and 1 down. And it's outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 down. So a very patient at-bat, as usual, for Brian Roberts, and he earns the walk.
Yeah, he works his way all through this. Fastball out over the plate. Count leaving up at 1-1, and then when he gets away from him, 2-1. Change up off the outside corner, and then misses that outside corner. He's been trying to stay away from the left-handed hitters with that fastball mostly.
And the speed here is in the proper order for the Orioles. They get faster as they go around from third to first.
And they can be bunched up at the plate, though.
And here is Nick Markakis, who is due to break out. 5 for 26 now over the last 6 games plus 1 at-bat. Texas has the infield set for a double play. And there's a fastball taken for a strike, 0-1. Nick, couple of grand slams in his career, 266 average. Orioles with a golden chance here to get an early lead. Well, the bases loaded, 1 down.
Yeah, on the year, Nick 3 for 3 with the bases loaded.
Fisted foul. He's down in the count, 0-2.
That's a pretty good average, batting 1,000 with the bases loaded.
Showalter looking on, leaning on the railing. Oh, 2, and he got him down and in. What a comeback by Lewis after a 5-pitch walk to Brian Roberts. He gets a 3-pitch strikeout of Markakis.
Yeah, cutter. We hadn't seen a lot of that, so I'm sure Nick, probably not even in his mind. It's been fastball, curveball, straight changeup featured by Colby Lewis. And again, he can be a strikeout pitcher. Last 3 starts, he struck out 9 against the Red Sox, 7 against Oakland, and 9 against Seattle.
Ty Wigginton now needs a 2-out base hit or a mistake by Texas to get some runs in. Wigginton has 1 RBI in his last 9 games, now 2 for 15 on the homestand, and he is 0 for his last 13. And he takes a strike, 0-1. In the dirt, nice block by Molina. He just saved the run. Lewis has thrown 8 wild pitches. His catcher just saved them one.
He certainly did. Right here, gets down in front of it. And he smothers the ball. It's the only real drawback that I see to those hockey-style masks. Seems like they have a hard time finding the ball when it bounces away. I'm not sure how good your peripheral vision is.
Bases loaded, 2 down, 1-1 on Wigginton. 1-2.
Well, Lewis breaking out that slider, which he's been saving until this point.
One and two. Big pitch coming here for Colby Lewis and for Wigginton. And just inside. Wow. How do you take that pitch?
Because you can't hit it. It just a nice sequence of pitches from Lewis. Just tried to nail that outside corner after drifting a couple sliders off the outside corner.
And 2-2 on Wigginton. And he got him. So Lewis comes back to strike out Markakis and Wigginton consecutively. And the Orioles strand the bases loaded. We'll head to the fourth in a scoreless game. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. And by Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. Bring your Green Turtle receipt to the Orioles box office for a buy one, get one free ticket offer for any non-prime game. Nice view of the Inner Harbor on this Thursday night. First of four against the Texas Rangers. Is it foam finger night? Ryan Mattis has been sharp early on. He already has 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. Here's Josh Hamilton. Swinging and missing a nice curveball.
Again, you can see that curveball just a little slower than it's been in his recent starts. And that allows it to break a little sharper on the end.
Takes low, 1-1. Hamilton, one of the 5 strikeouts, his first at bat. He has 22 games this year in which he has picked up 3 or more hits. That's how you lead the league in hits. Got under this one. Right center field. He's going to be Jones or Markakis. Jones calls. And he has it for the out. 1 away in the 4th inning. Don't forget the Orioles host the Boston Red Sox. Final time this year, Tuesday, August 31st through Thursday, September the 2nd. Good seats still remain, but they won't last long. So show your Birdland pride and help us paint the ballpark orange. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. And the kids getting in a ball game before school starts.
Probably saying, Mom, seeing those fingers around? I think they're growing out in that one section. Go out and get one. See Guerrero swinging at the first pitch. He has 37 first pitch hits on the year. That leads the league. Notorious slasher.
And he slashes a foul ball, and it's 0-2.
He's really slowed down since we last saw him in Arlington. That time he had 19 home runs and 72 RBIs. Since then he's hit a little over 200.
And foul back.
Trying to note that he's only hit one home run in his last 31 games. Have to count back to when the Orioles was in. I'm not sure if that was not against Brian Mattis.
Doesn't chase outside. 1-2. Guerrero is 5th in the league in RBIs. Texas has Guerrero 5th and Hamilton 8th, and they bat consecutively in the lineup. Swept towards shortstop to his left is Turris. Straightens and throws, and 2 quick outs in the 4th inning. Time for our AT&T Mobility Trivia question. Showalter and Washington have the 3rd and 4th most wins as managers in Rangers history. Who are 1st and 2nd? I'm going to say Bobby Valentine and Johnny Oates.
I would say Oates. I'm not sure on the second. But that sounds good to me. I'm sure Johnny Oates is one of them.
Oh, the drama. The drama builds. Here's Benji Molina. And it's low. And let's see what the answer is. 1st and 2nd. Bobby Valentine and Johnny Oates. Johnny Oates is the only manager in that franchise history to take the team to the postseason. And he did it 3 times. And there's his number on the uniform of Buck Showalter, number 26. Buck chose that number to pay tribute to his mentor. High fly ball to left field. PA has a play, backs up on it, and he has it for the out. And Brian Mattis has his second 3-up, 3-down inning. Mid-4th at Camden Yards. Pitchers are in charge, and no score.
And Thursday home game at Camden Yards, it's the Orioles Alumni Autograph Series. Former O's players and coaches will be at the Masson booth on Utah Street near Gate A. The autograph station opens 90 minutes before first pitch and stays open until 30 minutes before game time. Tonight's Orioles alumni were Joe Orsulak and Mike Young. So come out to Oriole Park this season on Mondays and Thursdays and relive some of your favorite Orioles memories. For more details, call the O's at 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. Jim?
All right, Amber, thank you very much. It is a very popular series. The heroes of the past come by, and usually somebody stops by O's Extra.
Oh, yeah. It's always nice to come by and see the players. I'm sure it's good for the fans, and the players, I'm sure, love coming back.
Luke Scott takes ball 1. He has one of the 3 Oriole hits, and his base hit in the 2nd inning was his 100th on the year. He has been on some kind of a tear since coming off the disabled list.
Yeah, he's raised it, overall, he's raised his average about 120 points, it seems like, within a month. Real close to cracking the 300 mark.
Now that'll play over the third base dugout.
Last year, Luke at 258, 25 home runs, 77 RBIs. He'll best those numbers, certainly the average.
Well, the power numbers aside, and they've been pretty good. 10 home runs, 25 RBIs in the 29 games since coming off the DL. But I think for him, because he's been known as a streak hitter, as he bounces this to first base, big hop for Cantu unassisted. He has hits in 24 of those 29 games. So really amazing consistency that he has not enjoyed for long stretches in his career.
Yeah, he's not a secret weapon any longer. I believe the clubs are really preparing for him now when they come to town.
One down in the Oriole fourth. Here's Adam Jones, who bounced into a double play his first at bat. Colby Lewis has 2 strikeouts. He has walked 1, and he got out of a bases loaded jam by striking out consecutive batters. And Jones takes a strike. Where were you on June the 1st, 2003?
At the ballpark, probably.
Well, if you were, you would have seen Colby Lewis pitch against the Orioles. That's the only other time he has faced the Orioles. June the 1st, 2003.
Long time between appearances.
Bounce foul. He was following that year. He went to Detroit, then the shoulder problems, then the Nationals, the Athletics, the Royals released. The heck with that. I'm going to Japan for 2 years.
And really turned it around in Japan. Went 26-17 with a 2.82 ERA. Struck out 369 and only walked 46.
Jones pops it up. The shortstop Andrews settling under it. And he has it for the out. And 2 down. We invite you to join Orioles Reach, Masson and Brian Roberts this coming Sunday, 6 to 9 p.m. It's the 5th annual Brian's Baseball Bash. The fundraising event for the University of Maryland Hospital for Children takes place at Dave & Buster's in the Arundel Mills Mall. It includes silent and live auctions of sports memorabilia. Individual tickets $200 for adults, $150 for children 12 and under. To show your support, call UMHC 410-328-3637. And if you can do it, come on out and join us there Sunday. I guarantee you will have a good time. Somehow, every year, they make it better and better. Here's the 0-1. And PA takes it low, 1-1 the count. And there's a soft line drive foul. In that game, June 1st, 2003, the Orioles won at 5-4 by scoring 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Lewis pitched 6 innings and a no decision. Sidney Ponson got the win. And the Orioles lineup that day had Roberts, Mora, and Surhoff. Conine, Gibbons, and Tony Batista, Luis Matos, Davy Cruz, and Brooke Fordyce. Wow, that seems like decades ago. Ryan Roberts, though, he was there. Too tight. PA backs out of the way. Hi, I'm Colby Lewis. How are you?
Come on in. Raiden just misses the shirt of Felix PA.
And PA down on strikes on a breaking ball, so a 3-up, 3-down inning. Strikeout number 3 through 4. No score at Camden Yards.
convention, and there was a huge freeway down in Dallas, Texas. That, I mean, it's just nothing but cars going back and forth in the freeway. It's very busy, and I wanted to go across the freeway to a convenience store. I was kind of bored in the convention. I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and I kind of got away while people were praying, and crossed the freeway, got over to the convenience store, and my parents were going crazy looking for me, and then I see them across the street, and just seeing my dad's face, I knew I was getting into some trouble.
Covering the bases with Michael Gonzalez, telling us how he once got in trouble as a youngster, and haven't we all? Foul ball. I meant as a kid. Oh, look at little Michael there. How could that little guy get in trouble?
Well,
all he wanted was a soda pop or something.
That was it, right across the street.
Ice cream. Murphy, Cantu, and Boggs for Texas in the 5th. And it's over below, 1 on the count. Murphy, one of the 5 strikeouts by Brian Mattis in this game. Breaking ball, and it hits the outside corner. Good pitch. Brian's 5 strikeouts, the most since his game against Minnesota on July 24th. He had 5 in that game as well. Murphy fouls it off. His career high was 8 at Boston on July the 4th. And that game is significant because Mike mentioned earlier how difficult it's been for Mattis to get to that 100-pitch plateau, which means you're pitching well deep in game. That's the last game he topped 100 pitches, July 4th.
That's right. That's right.
There's a bloop to left field, and that's going to fall in front of PA base hit. A defensive swing by Murphy, protecting with 2 strikes. And he serves it right in front of PA for a leadoff single.
Yeah, but the good thing is they're not getting good swings at Brian Mattis tonight.
7 straight starts under 100 pitches. There's the game, July the 4th. 7 innings, no runs on just 2 hits, and 111 pitches, and he picked up the win.
And again, when you get up to that 100-pitch mark, it usually means that good things are happening.
Here's Jorge Cantu now. Slice foul out of play. Cantu back in Texas from McAllen, Texas, right over the Mexico border. Murphy has good speed and a good stolen base threat at first base. Speed pitch swung and a missed. It's 0-2. Mattis, we mentioned the tough time Colby Lewis has had holding runners. Mattis has allowed 16 stolen bases in 19 tries.
He's trying to make a little adjustment in his stretch position to get a little bit more comfortable, to be able to see that runner a little better. It's all about balance.
0-2 is outside. And you would think with a lefty that not only would he have better success, but they'd run less. But not the case.
Well, if you don't have a good pickoff move and they start going on first move, that's where you get in trouble as a left-hander. If you have a semi-high leg kick and they go on first move, you can't make the throw to first before the first baseman can throw to second to beat the runner.
1-2 is bounced at third. Could be 2. Wigginton second 1. Roberts back to first. There's a double play. 5-4-3 and 2 men down. Second time in the game, Jorge Cantu has bounced into a double play. 2 down, bases empty.
Has really kept Cantu off balance out in front, just flips it. Wigginton, nice accurate throw to Brian Roberts, and it's not in his glove very long before it's on to first base. Nicely turned double play.
So Mattis now can go to work with the bases empty on Brandon Boggs, who was called up on August 15th. With 10 home runs in AAA for Oklahoma City. 27-year-old. Mattis, 23 years old. Now back out of play, and it's 0-2.
He's done a nice job of getting ahead. And able to do it again by getting that breaking ball and straight changeup over early in the count.
And he got him. Boggs goes down on strikes. Another 3-pitch strikeout. There's number 6 for Mattis as Texas goes down in the 5th.
Finally hit his groove. He's finally pitching the way Andy MacPhail thought he would when he brought him over from Japan in 2009. Since July 9th, Koji has an ERA of just .59. And he told me it's 100% physical. That's the reason for his success, is the fact that he's just been able to stay healthy. And he talked about the future. He said he knows that his contract is up at the end of this year. He said he hasn't thought too much about what he's going to do, but he will wait for a call. He hopes that somebody wants his services here in the United States. And he said, if I don't get that call, I'll go back to Japan. But he said, at least I'll do it knowing that I came to the United States, I went up against the best players in the world, and I was able to find success against them. Jim?
Amber, that must have been an interesting conversation with Koji. I knew you were smart. Do you know Japanese?
My Japanese is very good. I said all that to him in Japanese.
Amber just scored some points. Koji very happy here, and it's all about health. Amber makes a real good point there, because if you don't have your health, you don't have a chance to be the best you can be.
Yeah, the game is hard enough to compete at when you're at 100%, never mind when you're less than that.
Wieters, high fly ball, shallow left center field. Hamilton calls off Murphy, and one away in the Oriole 5th inning. Orioles have just announced on Tuesday, September 14th, for his 10,000 fans, 15 and over will receive a Buck Showalter Orioles t-shirt. So don't miss the final t-shirt Tuesday of the season, and your chance to show your support for the Orioles' new skipper. For your tickets, 888-848-BIRD, or get online at Orioles.com. So you get your number 26 t-shirt, and that'll cap your collection for the year. Well, that family had 3 different versions of Orioles t-shirts. Corey Patterson now is robbed of a base hit and a soft line drive and a diving stop by Blanco in his first at-bat. That actually was a key play, because the Orioles then would eventually load the bases. Corey, over his last 7 starts, has 4 multi-hit games.
It's been a hard time cracking the lineup. Problem being hit from the left side. You have Luke Scott, Felix P.A. Just gets backed up. He's kind of been relegated to pinch running duties.
His last start was the first game on the last road trip in Cleveland. He went 2 out of 4 with a home run. Of course, the series in Texas, he played in every game and had 8 RBIs. There's a ground ball. There's a base hit up the middle. So Patterson is on with 1 down, and he'll likely be in motion in this scoreless game in the 5th.
They would not expect him to be at first base very long. See John Shelby peeking over his shoulder, checking the signs from Gary Allenson.
Corey has 18 steals to lead the Orioles. Here's Cesar Esteuras, singled his first at-bat. Corey draws a throw. Patterson has been caught 3 times in his 21 attempts. And Allenson flashing some signs. .86% success rate for Patterson. Breaking ball that is low, 1-0. Michael Young is playing very close at third base. In fact, he's on the grass with his tourist up, taking away the bunt for a base hit. Not a sacrifice situation with 1 down, but that really gives him a lot more room on a ground ball the other way.
It gives him a nice angle and also discourages certainly his tourist from laying down a bunt.
Patterson runs, pitch is swung on and lifted to shallow center field. Hamilton on, he's got it for the out, the race is on, and the throw gets him. So Patterson out at second base, the ball hung up there. He thought it might fall in, Hamilton grabbed it, and he turns it into a double play. So a single and none left, and a good throw by Hamilton to double up Patterson. This HD broadcast is brought to you by Ford. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. And by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. Lovely night on the Inner Harbor on this August 19th, summer night. Now the pitcher's duel here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Andres Blanco leads off, number 9 batter for Texas in the 6th, and the curveball bends in there for a strike, and the Rangers' in-game box score is pretty empty.
Yeah, not a lot of action. Albus Anderson single, Benji Molina single, David Murphy a single. None of them really hit that hard. Mattis has pitched extremely well.
Swept foul, 0-2 on Blanco, who grounded out his first at-bat. Mattis has 6 strikeouts. He has walked 1.
And he has to be taking a big sigh of relief once he gets past the 4th inning. The first 4 innings of his starts this year has allowed 55 runs of the 80 that he has allowed overall.
Slice to right field. Marquez on the run. He's not going to get it. And it bounces down and goes to the wall on an 0-2 pitch. Blanco looking for 3. Roberts the relay throw. And the tag is out at third base. A late call by Tim McClellan. Third base coach Dave Anderson doesn't think so. He's trying to get into a discussion with McClellan. And on the relay, Marquez to Roberts to Wigginton. Blanco is retired.
Let's see, Nick chased this down in the right center field alley. Again, that barehanded play saves a couple of steps. Nice high relay from Brian Roberts. They're going to be a little high. Wigginton holds his ground.
And Andres Blanco had some words for Wigginton, and Wigginton went right back at him. Blanco must have been upset with the tag, and the bullpens are starting to empty as well. Wigginton was upset with the chirping.
You see right here, kind of drops the
blocked
right
the bag.
knee. Right.
Well, what's wrong with that? That's good baseball.
Blocking
the base.
Held his ground.
Maybe the elbow to the head at the back end of the play, but that was more the slide into the arm, wasn't it? Now we see why McClellan called him out. He never touched the base.
Yeah, I thought it was a rather casual call from McClellan, but you could see why. Looks like he may have jammed his wrist or something sliding into third base. Looking at his left hand.
He's saying, get off the field. You're out. See you later. Get out of here. I blocked the base. Get out of here.
He said, too bad. Go sit down.
You remember on the day Buck Showalter was introduced and he said he's looking for 25 nuggets? I think he's got one at number 23. And here's Elvis Andrews, shows bunt, takes ball one. That was textbook how you block the base. Outstanding by Wigginton. The knee down, the force of the runner took him into his elbow. Oops. Bounce to second base off the bat of Andrews. Roberts has it. And 2 down in the 6th inning. And the other part of that play is, in a scoreless game in the 6th, you're going to be on second with none down. Why gamble going to third?
No, I think it raised a few eyebrows when he started to head for third base, and I was actually surprised it was as close as it was, because that ball was already on its way back in from right field as he was rounding second.
Here's Michael Young with 2 outs and none on. Check swinging, it's low, 1-0.
Big play in this one, though. 0-0 ball game. That's a huge play. Leading off an inning and 9th place in the order, rolling it over the top of the lineup.
Fastball's high, 2-0. Mattis has allowed 4 hits. Colby Lewis has allowed 4 hits. And we have no score in the 6th. Oh, good cut.
It's kind of the dog days of baseball kind of ball game, though, you know. If you're following what the Yankees and the Tigers are going through up at Yankee Stadium, and that whole series starting from a hard slide at second base, trying to break up a double play to end the game, rolls over to the next day.
And a tie ball 3. What I didn't understand about that game last night, and neither did Jim Leland, is if you issue a warning in the first inning of a game and then the opposing pitcher throws at your hitter, why was he not ejected?
Oh, yeah.
And then
Cabrera hits 2 home runs, and he gets hit, and
then they throw behind Derek Jeter, and the Tigers pitcher wasn't ejected. Why issue the warning?
It didn't make a whole lot of sense.
I think Eric Cooper has some explaining to do to his supporters.
Yeah, I think they thought something was going to definitely roll over, and in the first pitch of the game, one of the participants in that slide at second base is drilled in the leg. Well, not too hard to figure out.
High fly ball slicing down the right field line. Markakis won't get there. It's out of play. Yeah, Brett Gardner was hit. Went right at his legs, did Boderman.
I love the comments after the game.
Next.
Both. Next or no comment. Did you try to hit him? Next.
Next question, please. Did it get away from you? Next question.
No comment.
Ty Wiggins is standing up for his team.
Yeah.
Another 3-2 pitch is hit, and diving stop by Torres. That ball was heading to left field for a base hit. So the Orioles coming alive here in the 6th inning. Wigginton standing up for it at third base as Torres diving for the stop. And Ty Wigginton saying, third base is mine, young man. Head back to the bench. Orioles Baseball on Masson is brought to you by AT&T Rethink Possible and by Lovesa. Oriole Park at Camden Yards on this Thursday night. Andres Blanco back to work at second base. There's Brian Roberts leading off in this scoreless game, so let's see if that near altercation at third base when Blanco took exception to Wigginton blocking the base will inspire the Orioles at the plate. And there's strike 1-1 on Roberts, who is 0 for 1. Ty Wigginton on the Orioles bench. I think Blanco found out very quickly that Wigginton does not back down. Weekly grounded to second base. Blanco has it. Roberts retired, 1 away in the Orioles' 6th. Fan of the game presented by the Green Turtle, your family fun place where kids eat free this summer. Find your location at greenturtle.com. The red hair, the Oriole orange shirt, and the pink cotton candy.
Quite a combo.
That's a combination. Hanging out at the game with
He's having a good old time.
That's what it's all about. The kids at the ballpark. Markakis, and he takes a strike. And look at the Orioles in-game box score, and equally not that busy.
Yeah, it really has been a pitcher's duel. Luke Scott the single, Wieters the double, and bottom of the lineup, 3 of the 4 base hits.
Slice foul out of play.
And this Rangers club hasn't really played that well of late. Hasn't really hurt them in the standings. They've lost 7 of their last 10. And really have lost any ground doing it.
Another foul ball. For the Orioles in the last 2 games against Seattle, both losses, a total of 10 hits. 3 hits on Tuesday, 7 hits last night. Here's the 0-2 to Markakis, and he got it. High pitch, Markakis swings through, and he's down on strikes for a second time tonight. There's number 4 for Colby Lewis.
Well, this pitch is a hanging change at the target is low, right in Nick's eyes, and I think he was thinking Utah Street, just swung right through it. Classic left-hander stroke.
And now we'll see what Colby Lewis does with Ty Wigginton coming up. Let's see if he shows some respect for his teammate Blanco. And Wigginton, first ball swinging right field. Back on it is Boggs, and it's over his head and against the scoreboard. Wigginton is hustling to second base, and he is in with a 2-out double. So Wigginton breaks his 0 for 14 with a double, and he's on with 2 men down. First extra base hit since his last home run on August 9th.
Yeah, it's been a while for Wiggy. Done a lot of pulling the ball of late. This time he goes to right field, played off the right field wall by Boggs. I guess you could tell his maybe inexperience getting the sort of the soft part of that right field wall. A couple of bounces on the ground. Wigginton easily in the scoring position.
His last 7 hits had been singles since that home run. So now with a 2-out base hit, the Orioles can get the lead. Luke singled in the second, grounded out in the 4th. Breaking ball is outside, 1-0.
I think Molina wanted it behind the plate, but also Luke Scott hitting a lot of balls back up the middle into left field of late. I think he's messed up a lot of people's scouting report. They really had him down as a dead pull hitter. You often see the shift, and he won't be in the shift or as dramatic a shift with a runner on second.
Is taking low ball 2. Well, Seattle, in the 3 games prior to the series, they did not employ the shift. So Texas in the same division. Of course, the Rangers' advanced scout had to have been here, seeing that the Mariners were playing more traditional. The only difference here, Mike, excuse me, is Blanco maybe is a bit more towards the hole at second base. 2-0 with Wigginton at second. And it's inside corner for a called strike.
Love Tim McClellan, don't you? He was even slow at that call at third.
And he's regarded as the best ball strike umpire by the players.
And I think because of that. A lot of times he'll call it. You'll hear him when you're on the mound. Call it a ball or strike. He just doesn't do the hand signal for a beat or 2.
Breaking ball bends in there for a strike. So 2-2 on Luke Scott. Colby Lewis has 4 Ks. He's walked 1. No runs on 5 hits. There is pitches by innings up to 78 here in the 6th.
Yeah, only that 3rd inning to the 25. Otherwise, a very manageable pitch count, and he has been over 100 pitches in each of his starts this year. This is a familiar territory for Colby Lewis.
2-2 pitch hit hard right to the first baseman Cantu, who gloves that hard smash. And the inning ends. 2-out double and a man left. We played 6. Still looking for a run at Camden Yards. Don't forget, you can go behind the scenes with your Orioles on Facebook and Twitter. Visit Orioles.com/connect to find out how you can become a Facebook fan of the Orioles or a Twitter follower of Birdland Insider. You'll receive the latest Orioles news and special ticket offers, plus be among the first to learn behind-the-scenes information straight from the team. That's Orioles.com/connect. Beautiful shot of the moon behind the Oriole logo. As we peer in from left center field, here's Josh Hamilton. And the curveball bends inside, 1-0. Hamilton, Guerrero, and Molina in the 7th.
And a real important inning for Brian Mattis. Get through the heart of this order.
Bounce foul behind first. Luke Scott gloves. Now Brian Mattis, Mike, in control as equally as Colby Lewis.
You can see that his real big problem is innings 1 through 4. After that, he's settled in, and he hasn't really pitched much into that 7+ area. But this is a real important part, and he's pitched well once he gets here and gets through those first 4 innings.
Curveballs hit to right at Markakis. And the dangerous Hamilton is retired, 1 away in the Texas 7th.
A real important out by Brian Mattis. He's kept in the middle of this order, 3, 4, and 5. Very quiet, only 1 base hit, and that's by Molina. This is the difference with that Ranger club. At home, they had 293, and they have 77 homers. On the road, different story, 255 and just 45 homers.
Vlad Guerrero now. First ball swinging as usual, and he fouls it off.
If it's in the air and in the vicinity.
That's why that second inning walk leading off was so unusual.
Well, you say you're wild when you're walking.
Go to plan B.
Because you just didn't miss the corner.
And it's over but low.
Usually the kind of walks that he gets, the 4 in a row, or after 2-0, he's just taking.
Peace, buddy.
Is there a bad view in this ballpark? And it really is spectacular.
Ball hit hard. Brian Roberts has to go off his glove, and that's going to be a base hit. Guerrero is on with 1 down in the 7th inning. So Guerrero is on with a hard smash.
Yeah, rocket right back up the middle. Brian tries to backhand. They may have come up a little bit right at the end.
The two unique parts of this ballpark are always crowded. We just saw one. That's the railing behind the bullpens in the picnic area. And the other, of course, is right behind the scoreboard on the flag court. Fans try to get there early. Yeah. They get their spot, and they don't leave.
I'd love to have stood as a young man behind that bullpen area and to get to see both the starting pitchers warm up. It would just be great. That area right there. Court.
And there's the bullpen picnic area. And the fans out there, they love the view. A lot of the fans there talk to the relief pitchers in the visiting bullpen. It's literally just below them.
And they do more than talk to them sometimes.
Hey, you. The 0-1 to Molina is taken outside, 1-1. Molina is 1 out of 2. Texas has had 6 base runners as they bat here in the 7th, which is far below the average for Mattis on the year. He's averaging about 14.
Oh, yeah, and he's erased a couple with those double plays that have really helped.
By recording 1 out here in the 7th, he has gone the deepest in the game since that July 4th game we keep referring to. 2-1 pitch is a little high ball 3, and Wieters is going to go talk to him. That was the last time he reached over 100 pitches to get deep enough in a game. He won that game on July the 4th.
Yeah, and he had a great strike and ball ratio, if I remember correctly, on that one. Just like tonight, that's the 96th pitch he's thrown. Only 28 balls. And that's when you were around the strike zone.
So 3-1 on Benji Molina with Guerrero at first and 1 down.
Yeah, that night in Boston, 70 of his 111 pitches were strikes.
Foul back off the netting, 3-2. Late in the game, slow runner at first, but no score. Do you risk Molina striking out by sending Vlad?
I don't think. Well, he's looking back at the first base coach. Sometimes that's an indication that he's not sure he's running. Maybe wants a double confirmation.
Barry Pettis, the first base coach. He is not going, and it's lifted to right. Markakis in, now waits. 2 down. Fans, don't forget on Saturday, the Orioles face the Rangers. First pitch at 4:10. Brad Bergeson goes against Cliff Lee. Now, the game will be televised by Fox as part of Major League Baseball's national broadcast package with Fox Sports. Viewers can tune into your local Fox affiliate and watch the Orioles game. The Fox agreement with Major League Baseball preempts regional sports networks from covering the game. Fans are encouraged to check out online coverage. Rock Tabacco and Steve Molesco will be here at the ballpark. So get online at MassonSports.com. And don't forget, you can also listen to Joe Angel and Fred Maffra on the Orioles Radio Network. Following that game Saturday, we're back with you on Sunday. Masson 2 HD goes extra at 1, and a finale of this 4-game series at 1:30. On 1 on David Murphy, who has one of the hits against Mattis. Breaking ball inside, 1-1.
Yeah, you can see the quality starts. The Orioles' record in those quality starts, 24-32. You know, below that 50% mark that you'd like to see. But also look at the rest of the league, almost 70%. When you throw a quality start, you usually get a win. It was well under that number.
High pop-up. There's Turris and Wigginton out as Turris taking charge, and he's got it. So the hard smash by Vlad Guerrero, none left. 7th inning stretch. All brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly.
direct highlights from tonight's and all Brian Mattis early on. With some help from his defense. Turned a couple of double plays in this one already. And then Kobe Lewis comes back with the bases loaded, 1 out. Strikes out Markakis and Whittington. And they've also showed their defensive skills at best. Doubling off a runner there. And then this long double relay for Wigginton says, go sit down. And some more fine defense again by Cesar Estura. So this one has been really about the defense, and that's why this is 0-0, dead even on the board. Both teams have 5 hits. Neither one has scored as we head into the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th. Brian a little bit better in the strikeout department, but a little unusual. Kobe Lewis usually 8 or 9 by this point, so excellent game both defensively and by both pitchers.
Lewis will go to work on Adam Jones. Felix P.A. and Wieters will follow in the scoreless game. Adam is now 3 for 13 on the homestand. Hard hit ball right to Michael Young, who is playing right next to the bag. 1 pitch, 1 down in the 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. What a beautiful shot at Camden Yards. Thursday night baseball here at Oriole Park. And here is Felix P.A. Felix 0 for 2 on the night. Shows bunt, and he takes a strike. Outside. Pierre was 2 out of 11 in the series against Seattle. There's only 2 hits in the last 5 games, so his bat has cooled off a little bit.
Yeah, 1 for 4 yesterday, grounded in a double play in that series finale.
These are important games for Felix P.A. He's trying to show that the Orioles, in their off-season planning, should consider him the everyday left fielder. And there's a pitch taken for a strike, 2-2. P.A. thought it was outside, disagrees with Tim McClellan.
Trying to get on any way he can.
Line drive, base hit left field. PA's on with 1 down. He wasn't going to wait to see whether that would be a strike or not after complaining, and he singles.
That's a nice, real nice swing. And up and out over the plate. Didn't try to do too much with it. They top hands it in the left field.
Showalter looking at the scorecard, looking to see where he is in the visitors lineup, which is 7, 8, and 9 in the 8th inning. So the top of the lineup will have to come up at least once more. Matt Wieters go to first. Of course, PA has speed. This might be a chance where you do a hit and run or try to get PA to steal the bag. He's still learning the nuances of becoming a base stealer. Fast does not necessarily translate into base stealing.
No, it's all about the timing of the jump.
Good lead. He was going to go and he slipped, so he stopped.
A little bit of a false start. His left foot may have slipped a little bit. But that's the hardest thing to do, is to pull that trigger when you're a young runner.
And draws a throw.
And though Lewis is 6'4", not easy to run on. Of course, Molina's always been accurate behind the plate.
You can't teach instincts, and that's what learning how to steal is all about.
You see 15 out of 21.
Doesn't go on the breaking ball. bends in there for a strike, 1-1.
It's almost like one of those things. Can you steal a base when the other team thinks you're going to try? That's what the great base stealers are able to do.
PA's last steal was Friday, the first game in Tampa. Stole that base off John Jaso. Bounce towards the hole, and it squirts on through for a base hit. PA makes the turn. He is flying to third. And the Orioles have runners on the corners with one down. And Matt Wieters has a two-hit game. And the Orioles have something going here in the seventh inning.
And that is really swinging the bat like a veteran. He knows that PA's being held on at first base. He's just trying to get something he can pull. It doesn't hit very hard, but it's the location. He hit base at the right field. You know PA is going to go first to third. So we've seen Wieters hit the ball and drive the ball to left field, but in this situation, doing for what is called for and what an experienced hitter would do, take advantage of that hold.
So Wieters picks up his third multi-hit game this month. And now Corey Patterson a chance to give the Orioles the lead.
Might be one of the last guys the Rangers want to see come to the plate after his history. You just get a feeling sometimes.
Fastball for a strike. Corey has really accepted this role in a very professional manner. As you get a look at PA and Wieters third and first. Buck Showalter has done a very good job with the healthy players back of having a regular lineup. Same players, same positions in the lineup. The 0-1 line drive, base hit center field, and the Orioles get the lead. PA trots in and a 1-0 Oriole lead in the seventh. Tonight's Ford Drive of the game. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford Drive 1.
Fastball up in the middle of the plate. Corey Patterson, again, the nemesis of the Rangers, drives in his 11th run versus the Rangers this year.
So Patterson comes through yet again as he picks up a multi-hit game. So he had 8 RBIs in the 4-game series in Texas just before the break, and he gets the first RBI in this game, and Mike Maddox is out to the mound for a chat with Colby Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis just getting into the 90 pitch range, so he's still really not in any danger pitch count wise. But they just would like him to get the ball down a little bit.
Darren Oliver and Darren O'Day. So the call went to the bullpen, get Darren up.
Right.
And they both did. Tim McClellan, the home plate umpire, saw the chuckle with Mike Maddox as he went out to break up the conference. Maybe Maddox asked McClellan, what do you think he should do here?
He could really help me out here, calling a little off the plate.
You shouldn't have got PA mad with that strike call. That got it all going. So 2 on and 1 down. Here's Cesar Estores. Slowly hit towards first base. Fielded by Cantu. Races on the slide. Out at first base. As Andy Fletcher said, the glove got down before the hand of Estores. Good hustle on both ends and 2 down.
And look at this play by Cantu. Right here, he realizes it's going to be a foot race.
Good call.
Yeah, second effort on the reach by Cantu just to beat the sliding Estores.
And he was able to turn his head just in time there. That was nearly a head-on-head collision. So the other runners advance, which helps the Orioles out. Wieters to third, and now Patterson to second. A base hit here could get 2 in. Here's Brian Roberts. Those are huge runs out there for the Orioles. And Mike Maddox checking with the bullpen to see how the Darrens are getting loose. Ryan is 0 for 2. He walked in the third. He has flied out and grounded out, looking to extend the hitting streak to 4 straight. Right center field, coming in on it is Boggs. Can't get it, it gets by him. Weeder scores, Patterson scores, and on at second base is Brian Roberts. The Orioles, with a 3-run inning, have a 3-0 lead. That'll be a double and 2 RBIs for Roberts.
Take a look at this. Offense breaking ball middle of the plate. Boggs breaks back, then comes in, and then he just misses it. Seemed like he got there in enough time.
So Roberts picks up his 6th double, and this is 28th game. He now has 8 RBIs, and that is a huge 2-out base hit.
A huge double, 2-out double. Again, Lewis has been the toughest in the league to hit with runners in scoring position. And they were able to do it on a couple of occasions here.
The only thing I can think of on the way Boggs reacted was because that was a full swing, and it sounded like he hit it off the end of the bat. Maybe he thought it was going to get to him quicker, and he misjudged it as a result of the swing.
He just didn't have a good read. I watched his first couple of steps. He wanted to take a step back.
And that's going to be all for Kobe Lewis. Here's Ron Washington coming out. Markakis is up, and he has Darren Oliver, a veteran left-hander, ready. So Oliver comes on. Orioles have struck for 3. Pitching change at Camden Yards in the 7th. On the bench, he goes 6 2/3, 9 base hits, and 4 of those hits came here in the 7th inning. And the 3 consecutive singles got the Orioles the first run, and Ryan Roberts with the double, so Darren Oliver comes on looking for the final out.
Now the veteran Darren Oliver has had another fine year for the Rangers. He's issued 4 hits and a couple of runs in his last 2 innings of work. But he has maybe over the last 9 games hasn't really pitched that well, but overall on the season he's pitched outstanding. With these Rangers and Kobe Lewis, I'm sure a little bit of frustration on his part. Again, he's pitched extremely well over his last 5 or 6 starts with minuscule run support and none tonight.
Ryan Roberts talking with Andres Blanco out there at second base. Maybe about that slide at third. B-Rob maybe has a little short temper there, huh? Ryan, by the way, it's his first multi-RBI game on the year. He had 6 ribbies coming in. 1 RBI in 6 different games. And it was a huge hit to get those 2 runs in. The add-on runs. Another one out there if Nick Markakis can get a base hit. There's a strike. 0-1. Remember earlier we were talking about, Buck Showalter saying, be patient, wait. When you call a game with Tim McClellan, you have to follow Buck's advice. Be patient and wait.
He must have got the memo.
0-1 is outside. 1-1 the count. McClellan is a good umpire. This crew's actually done a really nice job in, I was going to say this series, but they're beginning their 2nd series. They've been here for 4 days. 1-1 pitch, line drive, base hit right field. Roberts being sent by Allenson. Murphy has it. Here comes Roberts. The throw is cut off. Roberts scores. Markakis now in a rundown. Trying to get back towards first base. Cantu running him towards second base. And the tag by the shortstop Andrews will end the inning. But the run counts. Base hit by Wigginton gets Robertson. Another add-on run. Patterson, Roberts, Markakis with RBI hits. And the Orioles now have a 4-0 lead. Now the 4-0 lead, needs 6 outs for the win. Time for you to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Brian Mattis, who has pitched 7 innings of shutout ball. How about Brian Roberts? Roberts with a double past the sliding Boggs for 2 RBIs. Or how about Ty Wigginton holding his ground at third base and saying, get off the field. He also has a double. Well, text in your vote now and have your voice heard, A, B, or C, to 51862. Jorge Cantu. And a breaking ball for a strike. So Buck Showalter's club needs 6 outs to snap their 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, pitch number
even on the homestand.
Yeah, pitch number 102. And just a great strike to ball percentage. That's number 103. He's thrown 29 balls.
So the streak continues, Mike. It's now 17 games and 15 times the starter has gone at least 6 innings since Buck Showalter took over. And it is the 9th time at least 7 innings. So outstanding job by Brian Mattis here tonight.
That's how you get into ball games every night. Consistency helps you manage your bullpen, becomes much more predictable. How are you going to do that? The offense doesn't have to score as many runs. One nice rally can do it. Defense seems to step up. Defense has been exceptional over the last week, 10 days.
One-two pitch is lined to right field. Markakis over. Diving catch by Markakis. He timed it perfectly and takes a base hit away from Cantu. Markakis airborne, grabs it for the out. 1 down.
The greatest thing about this is the backhand side. Very difficult for a left-hander going towards the line. You have to really turn that glove over, and he does it with such grace and ease, it seems like. You just expect it from him.
Yeah, and there's his outfield coach. Hey, tip of the hat by T-Bone.
Tip of the helmet.
Brandon Boggs now, 1 out, none on. Well, defensive plays like that more than encourages you to continue to throw strikes.
The more strikes you throw, the more they're on their toes defensively. It all goes hand in hand.
the plate outside, 2-1. There's pitch number 107. Jeremy Guthrie last night, 8 strong innings in a defeat. Now back. Jeremy, unfortunately, last night had the 2 outs problems. 4 of the 6 runs came with 2 men down, that close to getting out of those innings. That is very uplifting for the team hitting and demoralizing for the pitcher.
Backbreaking, absolutely.
2-2 pitch outside, ball 3. Here's the Texas bench. Markakis taking a base runner away. And another foul back off the bat of Boggs.
I'm sure the Rangers are going, boy, this American League East is really just no fun to play, especially on the road. Rangers 0-3 at Tampa Bay, 0-3 in Toronto, 0-3 in New York.
3-2 is foul back. It's kind of amazing that not only have they not played well, but the fact that 4 of the 5 teams in the division have swept series from them. It's pretty hard to sweep a series.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Especially as the Orioles did. They swept a 4-game series from Texas in Texas. High fly ball slicing down the right side. Markakis gives chase, but it's out of play. I mean, here's a team, Mike, that is 67-52, an 8-game lead in their division. That's a .563 winning percentage, and their winning percentage against the AL East is .364. So 200 points fewer against the East. And in their 3 postseasons, each time they were eliminated by the Yankees in the first round.
Yes, they have the ghost of the American League East, with the Yankees especially.
Another 3-2 is hit hard, but right at his Torres, who's got it for the out. Little ice cream cone on the back end, but he held on and 2 men down. You can find the latest gear at the official online shop of the Orioles. Browse the largest online selection of official caps, T-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more for the entire family. You can shop from the comfort of your home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get your gear from the official source, theorioles.com shop. Koji Uhara begins to get loose. And there's a pitch taken for a strike by the number 9 batter, Andres Blanco. Mattis has 2 3-up, 3-down innings, and he also has another 3-batter inning. There's a number towards the mound. Mattis fields, and the underhand toss gets it to first, and the inning ends. So a 3-up, 3-down inning. Mid-8th at Oriole Park. Standing ovation for Brian Mattis. Brian Madison, Matt Wieters on the bench talking about that inning, 4-0. Congratulations by Buck Showalter. And please join us again tomorrow. Morrow's action. It's game 2 of the 4-game series against the Rangers. Jake Arrieta will be on the mound against left-hander C.J. Wilson. Coverage on Masson 2 HD begins at 6:30 with those extra presented by your local Ford dealer. And then game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on Masson. Jason Birkin over talking with his teammate Brian Mattis.
All's right with the world tonight.
Darren O'Day comes on to work here in the 8th.
56th appearance of the year, 4-2 record. Outstanding year by O'Day. 48 innings of work, just 34 hits allowed. 10 walks and 30 strikeouts for O'Day. Just a scoreless inning on Tuesday after the record streak of 29 consecutive scoreless appearances covering 26 innings was snapped on last Saturday. The 6th longest scoreless streak in club history. And most of the smiles in the dugout belong to that man, Brian Mattis, tying a career high with 8 innings of work tonight. This time in the winning mode after 8.
Ty Wigginton will lead off. Luke Scott and Adam Jones will follow. Wigginton is 1 out of 3. That snapped at 0 for 14. A double his last at bat. First ball swinging high, pop up. Third baseman Young is calling. He's called off by Andrews. And the shortstop has it. 1 pitch and 1 down. So Wigginton is 1 out of 4. That'll bring up Luke Scott with the bases empty. Luke is 1 out of 3. He's hit the ball hard all 3 at-bats, but the last 2 times he's been out 3 unassisted. In the 6th inning, he had a smash to Cantu, who gloved the one-hopper. And it's taken low, 1-0. Luke now has 5 hits in the first 4 games on this homestand. Darren O'Day was a non-drafted free agent. He was signed by the Angels by scout Tom Kochman, who is Casey Kochman's dad. Casey was just here last night with the Mariners. High fly ball left center field. He got a lot of it. Back goes David Murphy, and he runs it down in the gap. So 2 men down as the ball faded near the end.
Maybe just a little bit to the end, but didn't miss it by much.
Well, 2 down. Here's Adam Jones, who is looking for his first hit. He has not hit the ball out of the infield tonight. Double play, ground out, pop up to short, ground out to third. His last at bat, he hit the ball hard, but right to Michael Young. And the breaking ball stays upstairs, 1-0. O'Day made it to the big leagues with the Angels in his 3rd pro year in 2008. And then following the season, he was taken by the Mets in the Rule 5 draft. And Texas got him last year on a waiver claim. That was one of those early season waiver deals where the Mets were trying to sneak him through. He was put on waivers in April, first month of the season.
Yeah, sometimes you have roster problems.
Appeared in 64 games last year for Texas. Now back. Two outs and none on, bottom of the 8th, and a 4-0 lead for Mattis and the Orioles. Too tight and hit him. Well, it might have been right on the elbow. Richie Van Sels is going to come out to check.
He's saying he's okay. Low submarining delivery. The ball's going to run in.
No forearm.
It's like forearm down towards the elbow. The ball falls straight down like that. It's a direct hit.
Richie telling Buck Showalter, I'm fine. Thanks for checking on me, Skip.
Yep, nice going, Skip.
Did he just do that?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because that's kind of going around. I've seen a lot of that the last couple of days. I think it's sort of the new fist bump. Buck has a habit of like doing that, and I think it's kind of catching on with the players.
Well, Richie
Rick
gave
Mansell gave him one, so let's pass it on.
There's Felix Pie now. And a base hit to left field. Pie's got back-to-back singles. He's 2 for 4. So the Orioles have a couple on with 2 down. Getting to Darren O'Day with 2 outs.
Nice job by Pie, taking what was given. Fastball away, stays with it, doesn't try to pull it. Done that the last 2 at bats, and he's really the one that got that rally going, that 4-run rally in the 7th.
Mattis 3 outs away from what would be his 5th win of the year.
And how well did he pitch? He just faced 3 over the minimum for going through 8 innings. Just faced 27 hitters.
Here's Matt Wieters, has had a good night. He has a double, a single, and he's also flied out. A chance for insurance here in the 8th inning. Third ball that stays outside, 1-0.
You're not sure, are you? I don't think Tim McClellan was home plate umpire. Again, he'll give you a good long look, and then the hand will come up sometime. I used to get mad at him when I was on the mound because I'd say that was a strike, and then he'd call it a strike, but it was just a couple seconds later.
Ball 2. The other thing about his mannerisms, he stands up the exact same way, whether it's a ball or a strike, and then a little fist pump if it's a strike. Sometimes you could tell by their body language what it's going to do. Swung on and missed, 2-1, but if you were in a Game 7 in a postseason game, you'd want him behind the plate.
Oh, yeah, and I like about him, he gets right directly behind home plate. He doesn't really go over one corner. Catcher goes out to the corner, he'll sit right down the middle.
Saw Matt Harrison in the bullpen. Two and one on Wieters with 2 on and 2 down. Back the other way, count even 2-2. O'Day, the third pitcher. Lewis went 6 2/3. Oliver, 1 batter. And O'Day on here in the 8th.
And Wieters really turned it on going back to last night. He had the big home run.
Koji Uehara getting ready to work the 9th.
Wieters the home run last night. Then he was robbed of the base hit and comes right back tonight with a couple of more hits.
And protects and fouls back.
And again, I think Buck Showalter showing the young switch hitter some respect, letting him hit 3-0 last night. And something he's trying to do is rebuild the confidence of some of the players that have been really through a very difficult, I guess, first 2/3 of the season.
Last year, he had 9 home runs and drove in 43 in 354 at-bats. He's got 10 home runs with 40 RBIs and 340 at-bats. Pops this one up. Catcher Benji Molina throws the mask. Puts it away for the final out. Hit batsman base hit. 2 men left. The night is done for Brian Mattis. Koji Uehara coming on to work the 9th. Orioles Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. And by 5 Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no 2:30 feeling later. Visit 5hourenergy.com. Lovely night on the Inner Harbor if you have a boat, like that person. Now the Orioles, like 3 consecutive starts of at least 8 innings, first time since May 3rd of 2005, when Daniel Cabrera did it against Toronto, Eric Bedard did it against Toronto, and then Sidney Ponson against Kansas City.
It has been a while, and with that, Koji will come out of the bullpen. He's posted a 0.56 ERA. His last 16 innings, he's allowed just 1 earned run, striking out 19. That goes back 13 appearances back to July 9th. He struck out 11 and not allowed a run in his last 6 games. Again, going back to the last series, he came in, pitched an inning in third, struck out 4. There's the numbers right there. An inning in the third, 2 hits, no runs. Getting himself in the corner, came back with the strikeouts. One thing I like he's really done is retired that first batter 19 of 22 times this year.
Lou goes in at third, pushing Wigginton to first. Luke Scott no longer in the game. And Koji misses outside corner, excuse me. He caught me.
He's been doing it for years. He got you. But quickly ahead 0-2.
Now back. And Brian Mattis threw 115 pitches and 82 were strikes. So you're a Cy Young Award winner. Is a 71% strike ratio pretty good?
Anything over 65, I've never seen a poorly pitched game.
0-2 is a little low, 1-2. 71% strike.
No, that's just great. 70 is nothing short of outstanding. The 0-2 pitch from Koji.
Oh, Wieters moved the glove. Can't move the glove unless you get away with it. And it's outside, 2-2. The fans have been into every pitch here.
Well, Koji's been so hot as a pitcher. I think everything is a strike. 1-2 pitch, and they're close, and that's why Koji's been so good. He's been right around those corners.
Sky to right. Going to take us back a few steps. 1 down in the Texas 9th inning. Here's an update on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game, and Brian Mattis. 8 shutout innings in the lead. Wigginton and Roberts trailing. Still time to vote. Have your voice heard. A, B, or C to 51862, and Tom and Rick will have the results coming up on O's Extra Post Game, which will be 2 outs from now. If Koji can keep Texas off the board, and with pitches like that, he'll do so, painting the outside corner.
Yeah, they've really handled this Texas offense extremely well tonight.
Here's the 0-1. Ground ball knocked off the glove of Koji Uehara, and that's going to be a base hit. It might have gone through the middle anyway, but by deflecting it, Asturias had no chance.
I'm not sure if it went off the bare hand, but it was really his bare hand side. No play once it's deflected.
So Maka Young has a base hit. And here's Josh Hamilton. Hamilton is 0 for 3 tonight, now 0 for 10, and 1 for his last 15. And this early in the series, that should concern you.
Yeah, they've had their troubles. There's no question about it. And he certainly is the lightning rod of the offense. Yeah, it's hard to say if someone's leading the league and hitting that they're in a terrible slump. But that's the way this Ranger club goes. It seems like their offense is just shut off.
Ron Washington looking on. Young is not being held, and Koji misses 3-0 on Josh Hamilton. What you don't want to do here is encourage the Rangers.
No. Or start staring at Tim McClellan.
1 out, 1 on in the 9th. There's a strike, and Hamilton, as he should be, takes all the way. There's the 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed.
I mean, that's an 89-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. He'll swing right through it.
Hamilton leading the league in average and in base hits. He has 44 multi-hit games, and he is in the top 10 in the Triple Crown categories. First in average, fifth in home runs, eighth in RBIs. Slice foul, that'll be back in the crowd down the left side.
Well, 408 on base percentage. It kept him off base all 3 times tonight. Second in multi-hit games. The number stuck out. Hitting 403 versus right-handers.
Michael Gonzalez getting loose just in case. And a high fly ball to left, playable for PA, who waits for it now. 2 down. Michael Young back to first.
It always sticks out with me that, excuse me, when I see Hamilton ending that 4-game sweep in Arlington, was he made the last out of that series.
Texas has to be wondering, what the heck's going on here? Aren't the Orioles struggling this year?
Hey, you're part of the American League East.
Here's Guerrero. He took a pitch. Ball 1 too high.
He has to force himself. I mean, that's a forced take.
Many of the fans on their feet at Oriole Park. There's a strike, 1-1. Koji taking a little walk to catch his breath. It's muggy out there. 1-2. I think he was trying to hit it out.
Yep. The old lean back swing.
Oh, the fans are loving this. 1-2 on Vlad Guerrero. Line drive, base hit, left field. So the inning continues. Anywhere near the plate, he's dangerous. And 2 hits in the inning, 2 down, and Benji Molina comes up. You can see now why Buck Showalter got Michael Gonzalez up, because David Murphy's a left-handed batter due up next, and that represents the tying run. So Showalter was thinking 3 batters ahead when he got Gonzalez up in the bullpen.
Yeah, he really doesn't think about saves. He talks about it as being win situations.
Strike 1 to Benji Molina, who leaned out of the way, and it caught the corner. Young and Guerrero not being held at first is Guerrero, 2 men down. Now back and it's 0-2.
And Cody's been nothing but all fastballs. Going through the heart of the lineup.
Nothing in 2 on Molina. And it's high, ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. Popped them up. This should do it. Brian Roberts has it for the out, and the Orioles get the opener of this 4-game series, and that trend continues. The Orioles in 6 series under Buck Showalter have won the opening game in each of the 6. Final score, Game 1. The Orioles shut out the Rangers 4-0.